Konnichiwa. Welcome to Kodama Showcase. Kodama Showcase is a weekly program where I share a new, beautiful, and unique koi and talk about them. Today I have a very, very unique koi for you. So please take a quick look now. These are Doitsu, Chaogoi, and Doitsu Soragoi, but they are not typical Doitsu Chaogoi or Doitsu Soragoi. So we'll talk about this later. Hi, this is Taro Kodama from Kodama Koi Farm. My father started this business more than 50 years ago, and I was born and raised at the farm. About 20 years ago, we expanded our business to the United States with a strong desire and passion to share this beautiful creature and wonderful culture of Japan. Right now, I think we are one of the largest importer and distributor of the quality Japanese koi. So if you're looking for a really nice koi at the fair price, please consider Kodama Koi Farm. If you like this video, please make sure you share this video with your friends or just give me likes. Okay, so let's talk about koi today. Okay, so these are today's koi. Like I said, these are Doitsu, Chaogoi, and Doitsu Soragoi. Doitsu means scaleless. If you'd like to know more about why we call scaleless koi as Doitsu, I created a good video explaining about it. So I'm gonna attach the link to this video. So take a look at it later, study about it. And Chaogoi, cha in Chaogoi means brown. So this is basically, Chaogoi means brown koi. Sora in Soragoi means gray or sky. So Soragoi basically means gray koi. So Doitsu Chaogoi is a scaleless brown koi. Doitsu Soragoi is a scaleless gray koi. So that's what they are. But like I said, if you're familiar with what the typical Doitsu goi look like, you can see these are not a typical Doitsu goi. Typical Doitsu goi like Shusui, they are scaleless koi. So they have scales, but only along the dorsal fin usually. And if they have more, they usually have scales, lines of scales on the side. That is it. And so these are not, what the typical Doitsu look like. When breeders breed those scaleless koi, many of them tends to show a lot of irregular size scales at the irregular locations of the body. We call them aragoke. Aragoke means rough or irregular scales. These are actually undesirable, unwanted scales. So when breeders try to breed those Doitsugoi, they try to keep only those that has least scales on the body, maybe only along the dorsal fin and only on the side. If they see any type of aragoke on the rest of the body, they try to eliminate them. In other words, the history of developing Doitsugoi is the history of removing those unwanted scales, aragoke. Now, please take a look at these koi. You can see those irregular size. I would say not irregular, more like a larger scales. And what we call them aragoke, it's completely opposite opposite type of what we consider ideal Doitsugoi. You can see so many larger scales on the body, and instead of this breeder, Maruhiro Koi Farm, instead of trying to eliminate those unwanted scales, he rather thought how he can put those undesirable scales on the body and still make those koi beautiful. So I rather call them Aragoke Chaogoi or Aragoke Soragoi instead of calling them Doitsu Chaogoi or Doitsu Soragoi. When we look at these varieties, there is only one thing that I would check, or I will take a look, which is the design of the aragoke, those larger scales design. So let's use them as an example. Say that this is a Doitsu aragoke Chaogoi. You can see, of course, as a typical Doitsugoi, you can see a beautiful scales on the side. At the same time, you can see like a 3 layers or 3 lines of the scales over here and over here, right? Beautiful, all the way to the tails. And then it has some scaleless part over here, but it kind of create the beautiful designs over here. You can see one scale over here, kind of a different color. Well, that's probably, you know, maybe a few months ago when we tried to catch this koi, we hit the scale and it lost a scale over here. That's why it looks like a little bit different color, but when the scale comes back, so it'll be like a normal, so don't worry about it. So this one has a beautiful designs by the Aragoke here. And this one, and this is, by the way, this is female Aragoke Chaogoi over here. And this is the Aragoke Soragoi. I rather like the design of this Aragoke. You know, it has like a regular Doitsu goi. It has a nice scales along the dorsal fin. This one has beautiful, like, large scales. And what I think is beautiful is those, like, some of the scales have a ginden, glittering pigment in the scales. So when she swims, actually it's a male, so when he swims, you know, that glittering scales kind of reflect. So that makes this koi beautiful. But again, you know, the design by the Aragoke is very unique and beautiful. So these are relatively new varieties, and even though they are classified as a Doitsu, it's not a typical Doitsu. So they show quality? I'm not sure. You know, if the judges are not really familiar with what Aragoke look like, they may consider, okay, automatically they may think Aragoke is a bad thing. So they may disqualify this from the koi show, you know, from winning some prizes. But so in that sense, they may not necessarily be a show quality koi, but in my opinion, they are unique and beautiful, very rare. To me, because koi are not something that you can manufacture in a factory, they are not the product of mass production. Uniqueness, or the factor of being rare, is definitely an important part of the beauty of koi. So from that standpoint, these two koi, Aragoke Soragoi, Aragoke Chaogoi, they have such a unique factors in their beauties. So I think they are very valuable. So these koi, like usual, you know, these koi are available on my website. I'm gonna attach a link later on. So it's a female Doitsu Aragoke Chaogoi over here, and Aragoke, it's a male Aragoke Soragoi over here. So if you don't have any of them, I am pretty sure that a lot of them do not have them yet. You could be one of the first few people who could own these kind of Aragoke Chaogoi, Aragoke Soragoi. If you are interested, please contact us through a messenger, or just email us at sales@Kodama Koi. I'm gonna prepare, you know, if you're gonna get them as a pair, I'm gonna prepare a very good special price for you. Okay, so again, you know, before we go, please take another look. These are very unique, rare type of koi, Aragoke Soragoi and Aragoke Chaogoi over here. And since they are Soragoi, Chaogoi, they have the blood of those two varieties. They will be very friendly. They will eat a lot. You know, if you train them well, they could eat even from your hands. So consider to keep them in your pond. Okay, so I guess this is it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's show. I'll be back next week. Until then, stay happy with your koi. Thank you. Arigato. Thank you. Bye-bye.